And of course, we have taken up this issue with various platforms on which these terrorist organizations or prescribed organizations hold their presence on, so that they can actually initiate further necessary action. We would urge them to not only report these accounts, but also block these terrorist accounts. We would ask them and urge them to share the information about these account holders, so that we can amplify our counterterrorism operations and our strategy in dealing with this new threat. Of course, we want them to implement stricter and stringent measures, which obviously includes through, like my colleague mentioned, through the use of AI, the algorithms out there, so that we can actually detect these accounts, and more of these accounts than just 481 that we've just discovered through investigative methods, through our law enforcement agencies. And also, like I mentioned earlier, and my colleague mentioned earlier as well, that we would really welcome all of these social media applications and these platforms to come to Pakistan to set up their offices so that we can have a better coordination. So we would urge them to establish their presence in Pakistan. Pakistan, of course, remains at the crucial front line as a state in the global war on terror. That there's been a spike in these terrorist activities and terrorist attacks, and our law enforcement agencies have been dealing with them swiftly. Lastly, I'd just like to reiterate that the US withdrawal from Afghanistan, of course, this means that clearly there is a resurge in terrorism for increased international cooperation. And increased international cooperation, not just on ground, but also digitally and in the digital realm. So if there's any other question or any questions that you'd like to ask, we're here to answer that.
We don't want to stop, or we don't want to build walls against the freedom of speech. We want to build a wall against the terrorists and terrorism. So we need cooperation, and these, our request reports, are all according to the laws, community guidelines, which are applicable in US, Europe, and other countries. There is the numbers I have given you. They all belongs to these terrorist groups and organizations which are sanctioned by UN, US, UK, and there is no political parties account or political workers account. These are accounts of jet black terrorist organizations.
The international platforms such as X, WhatsApp, or Facebook, Instagram, any of these platforms, they decide not to come to Pakistan and establish their offices. That's why we've actually, through this presser, we would like to welcome them to come and establish, because obviously this is a mutual beneficial thing, not just for us in our country, but also for those platforms, because there's a huge population or a huge number of users that are from Pakistan. Prescribed organizations or these terrorist organizations or groups have now chosen to engage within the digital space or digital realm. That's why it's important more than ever before for these social media platforms and applications to actually come and establish their offices in Pakistan so that we can have better coordination. We want to create a safer, secure digital space, not just for our citizens as well, but also for other citizens of other countries as well. And we cannot allow such groups to operate within the digital space or the digital realm and use this as a new method to not just only recruit, but also to carry out their illegal activities that they have been doing in the recent past.
Pakistani authorities track them, trace them, but they can't take action because they don't have details of the account holders, number one. And most of the accounts come up again as a mirror account when social media platforms did not apply AI technologies to block the accounts. They block one account, and after the minutes, the mirror accounts come up. So that's why I make two requests. Number one, share the account holders information, and secondly, kindly they use AI technology to block the mirror accounts. We don't know they are operating from Afghanistan or Pakistan. Went to Afghanistan twice in last 2.5 months. Interior Minister recently last week went to the Afghanistan, and we want that Afghanistan cooperate with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
वज़ीर मुमलिकत बराए दाखिला तलाल चौधरी और बैरिस्टर अकील मलिक गैर मुल्की मीडिया से गुफ्तगू कर रहे हैं और उनकी जानिब से कहा जा रहा है कि सोशल मीडिया पर दहशतगर्दी से मुतल्लिक 2417 शिकायत ज़ेर गौर हैं और